guys, we are back with another song by Eminem.
Yes.
And which one are we doing today?
So today we're doing Renegade featuring Jay-Z. So you know this, right?
Yeah,
Obviously. So, full disclosure, maybe about a month ago, we tried to do this. Jess has known this song for years. I
yeah,
play it.
yeah.
I don't know how well you know it, but whatever. We tried to do a reaction
Aware
video.
of it.
Yeah, we tried to do a reaction video like a month ago, and something happened with our camera. It froze, locked up, and then we decided we'll just wait a month or so till.
So
So,
I can forget
yeah,
the song.
yes. So,
I forgot it.
yeah.
I know it, but I forgot like the verses. Like I don't remember them. I just know the chorus, really.
Yes. So this isn't a first time reaction. It's
No.
just really a reaction to the breakdown of the lyrics.
And honestly, a lot of our videos aren't first time reactions. Like
Yeah,
there's a few Eminem ones, a bunch of the ones that I do you've never heard before.
for sure.
But like a lot of them are like I recognize the chorus reactions,
Yeah,
if
for
that's a
sure.
thing.
Yes. So Renegade, technically it's Jay-Z featuring Eminem. And I don't know if you remember, I explained that this was on Jay-Z's The Blueprint album. Eminem was the only feature on the album. Um, Eminem produced this beat. It was originally a song with Eminem and Royce the 5'9".
Okay.
Eminem asked Royce if it was cool if he gave it to Jay-Z. They took off Royce's verse. Jay-Z replaced him.
So
And
he like gave it to him. Like it's on Jay-Z's album, gave it to him.
yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Royce was cool with it. He's like, yeah, I'm happy you even asked. So,
So
yes. So there's many debates about this song, about who did better. You know, Nas famously has a line saying that Eminem murdered Jay-Z. So, yes. So we'll go through it.
and also, before we begin anything, I just want to say don't forget to like and subscribe and also follow us on all social media channels. The link is in the description below. And also, thank you so much, guys, for subscribing to our channel and for helping us to continue doing what we're doing. We finally got to 1,000 subscribers in like this short time
Yeah,
that we started. I think it's been less than 2 months, honestly. And we're just like overwhelmed with gratitude. And we can't wait to keep bringing you guys this content. And
sure.
thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right. Renegade.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Motherfuckers say that I'm foolish. I only talk about Jews. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? See, I'm influenced by the ghetto you ruined. The same dude you gave nothing, I made something doing what I do through and through. And I give you the news with a twist is just his ghetto point of view. The renegade, you've been afraid. I penetrate pop culture, bring them a lot closer to the block where they pop toasters and they live with their moms. Got drop roasters from botch robberies, niggas crotched over. Mommy's knocked up cause she wasn't watched over. Knocked down by some clown when child support knocked. No, he's not around. Now how that sound till you jot it down? I bring it through the ghetto without riding round, hiding down, ducking strays from frustrated youth stuck in their ways. Just read a magazine that fucked up my day. How you rate music that thugs with nothing relate to it? I help them see they way through it, not you. Can't step in my pants, can't walk in my shoes. Bet everything you worth, you lose your tie and your shirt.
Okay.
So there's like a really cool beat that keeps like randomly going from like the right ear background to the left ear. And
Yeah,
it's just like, ooh, it keeps like catching my attention that you definitely would not really be experiencing if you weren't listening to this with headphones on,
that's
or
cool.
at least in the car. I assume it would happen in the car.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
it's harder to pick up on
But
that.
like definitely headphones, earbuds, what have you,
Yeah,
very clear.
yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. So Jay-Z starts. They each have two verses. I don't know if you remember that. So Jay-Z starts off and he says, "Motherfuckers say that I'm foolish. I only talk about jewels."
So it's really funny. Any I like I remember that line, and for some reason I never hear him say jewels. I only hear him say Jews. And I'm like, oh,
No,
that's
no,
weird.
that's funny. I hear that sometimes
Yeah,
too.
I don't hear the ools
Yeah,
part.
that's funny. So he's saying, "Motherfuckers say that I'm foolish. I only talk about jewels. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it?" So critiquing people for not really listening, just
Just like,
skipping,
yeah.
surface listening. See, I'm influenced by the ghetto you ruined. That same dude you gave nothing. I made something doing what I do through and through. And I give you the news with a twist. It's just his ghetto point of view. So he's saying, I'm influenced by the ghetto that you ruined. So I guess talking to America at large,
Okay.
I interpret this as like maybe like gentrification or like redlining,
Oh, okay, because I wasn't really understanding,
Yeah.
honestly.
So I think
Yeah,
it's a critique at, racism in America, redlining, gentrification, all that shit.
So like trying to change like what is considered the ghetto and trying to make it like an up and coming neighborhood,
So that, and then
which just makes me think of South Park
yeah,
with Soto Sopa.
yeah. And then I also think, like predating that, like the ghettos becoming ghettos in the first place, you know what I mean? So I think like he's talking about that as well. But yeah, definitely gentrification as well.
Okay.
And he said the same dude that you gave nothing, I made something doing what I do through and through. So he just does his thing, he's
So
like,
he says that same dude, he's talking about himself.
yeah.
Okay.
And then he says, I give you the news with a twist. It's just his ghetto point of view.
And that when he says his, he's talking about himself again.
Yes.
Okay, because that kind of lost me there. I was like, who is he?
Yeah. So he's just saying, he raps about what he sees and, that people like him for that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He says, the renegade, you've been afraid. I penetrate pop culture. Bring them a lot closer to the block where they pop toasters. So,
I just think of Pop-Tarts for some
yeah,
reason, or toaster strudels,
yes.
or like a hybrid of the two.
So,
Oh my
yeah.
God, someone should make that.
So, yeah, the toasters are obviously guns. And then he says, so go back to the first part of the line. It says, the renegade, you've been afraid. I penetrate pop culture, bring them a lot closer to the block where they pop toasters. So he's literally talking about he's bringing ghetto life into mainstream pop culture. Yeah.
Okay.
And then he continues to describe the type of things that
Being
he's
on the
he's
block with
bringing up.
guns and like,
And he says, and they live with their moms, got dropped roadsters,
so convertible.
cars, yeah, from botched robberies, people crouched over, mommy's knocked up because she wasn't watched over, knocked down by some clown. When child support knocked, no, he's not around. Now, how that sound to you, jot it down. So again, just here talking about things that go on in the hood. You know what I
Mm,
mean? The
yeah.
the dropped roasters, the cars. Botched robberies, people getting shot, young girls getting pregnant because she
Their
wasn't
parents
watched.
weren't there.
Yes, and then the man not paying child support, he's not around. And then he
Mhm.
says, now, how does that sound to you? Jot it down. I bring you to the ghetto without riding round. So again, he's describing the world that he grew up in and that he sees, and he's giving it to the world to hear about it.
Mhm.
I bring you through the ghetto without riding round, hiding down, ducking strays from frustrated youths stuck in their ways.
Okay.
Just read a
Strays, like
stray
bullets?
bullets, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, um, yeah, frustrated youths stuck in their
I'm
ways.
sorry.
It's okay. Just read a magazine that fucked up my day. How you rate music that thugs with nothing relate to it. I help them see their way through it, not you. So he's saying his music is felt by thugs who have, nothing, but they relate to the music. And he's saying, how does mainstream and America at large, how do you value that? You know what I mean? It has a different value to these people. Maybe you don't understand it. And so you don't think it's that great, but, you know,
So, like, he's saying, like, in the magazine, someone was, like, picking apart his music, someone who is clearly not a thug or someone who clearly just can't even relate to it was rating it.
yeah, exactly. It's like, how do you rate music that you know nothing about? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But people who went through it really connect with it.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say, I help them see their way through it, not you. Can't step in my pants, can't walk in my shoes, bet everything you're worth, you lose your tie and your shirt. So again, he's saying he's helping these people through his music. And then he does this little cool thing with the articles of clothing where he
Mhm.
says, can't step in my pants, can't walk in my shoes, and then bet everything you're worth, you lose your tie and your shirt. That's a little cool holding scheme there.
Yeah.
So now we,
It's like something Eminem would do.
yeah, for sure. So we'll pick up here. Eminem.
Then you work, you lose your tie and your shirt.
Since I'm in a position to talk to these kids and they listen, I ain't no politician, but I kick it with them a minute. Cause see, they call me a menace. And if the shoe fits, I wear it. But if it don't, then y'all will swallow the truth, grin and bear it. Now who's the king of these rude, ludicrous, lucrative lyrics? Who could inherit the title? Put the youth in hysterics, using his music to steer it, sharing his views and his merits. But there's a huge interference. They're saying you shouldn't hear it. Maybe it's hatred I spew. Maybe it's food for the spirit. Maybe it's beautiful music I made for you to just cherish. But I'm debated, disputed, hated, and viewed in America as a motherfucking drug addict. Like you didn't experiment, nah. That's when you start to stare at who's in the mirror and see yourself as a kid again. And you get embarrassed, then I got nothing to do but make you look stupid as parents. You fucking do good, it's too bad you couldn't do good at marriage. And do you have any clue what I had to do to get here? I don't think you do, so stay tuned and keep your ears glued to the stereo. Cause here we go, he's chicken, and I'm the sinister Mr. Kiss my ass is just a renegade. Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. Cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to talk about anything. Renegade.
Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. Cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to holler about anything.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we'll pick up with Eminem's verse.
Mm-hmm.
He starts off saying, since I'm in a position to talk to these kids and they listen, I ain't no politician, but I'll kick it with them a minute. Cause see, they call me a menace, and if the shoe fits, I'll wear it.
It's like to Jay-Z's clothing.
That's so funny.
scheme.
So I do believe, yeah, so this existed already, Eminem's verse. So Jay-Z did his after. So Jay-Z might have been the one doing a little, thing there.
That's still cool.
Yeah, it is. It's sick. I know politician, but I'll kick him with a minute. See, they call me a menace, and if the shoe fits, I'll wear it. But if it don't, y'all will swallow the truth, grin, and bear it. So again, I'm not a politician. It's not my responsibility to be looking after these kids. But since I have some fame and they'll listen to me, I'll talk to them a little bit. You know what I mean? And then he says they call me a menace, and if the shoe fits, I'll wear it. But if it don't, you'll swallow the truth, grin, and bear it. So he's saying, if I really am this terrible person, then fine. But if I'm not, you guys are going to have to reconcile the fact that I'm not this evil person that you think I am. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes on to say, now who's the king of these rude, ludicrous, lucrative lyrics? Who can...
Crazy.
I know, it's like fucking... Even just reciting it is tough.
Hard to say.
Yeah. Who can inherit the title, put the youth in hysterics, using his music to steer it, sharing his views and his merits, but there's a huge interference. They're saying you shouldn't hear it. So, obviously he's saying,
so
yes, he's the king of these. Can you say it? Let's see if you could say it.
ludicrous, lucrative lyrics.
Nice. Very good.
I'm a rapper.
Better than me. So, yeah, so he's the king of these lyrics. So they're rude, they're mean,
Ludicrous.
they're wild, but they're also making him a lot of money. And he says, who could inherit the title, put the youth in hysterics, using his music to steer it, sharing his views and his merit. So he's saying he's speaking to the youth through his music.
Lyrics, yeah.
Yeah, and he's sharing his beliefs, and the kids are listening, and he may
Getting
try to
through
be
to them.
and actually try to control what they think and what they do. But then he's saying, but there's a huge interference. They're saying you shouldn't hear it. So talking about the censorship going on.
Like
Trying to say you shouldn't listen to him and what he has to say, and he shouldn't be allowed to rap like that, all that shit. Because this was
just
2000.
be on the radio and whatnot.
So this is actually 2001. So this album came out on September 11th, 2001. Like the actual 9/11 was when Jay-Z's Blueprint album was released.
Oh.
Yeah, just a little factoid, but
Jeez.
But it's similar to the theme from, the Marshall Mathers LP and all that of his censorship and stuff that Eminem was talking about. He continues to say, maybe it's hatred I spew, maybe it's food for the spirit, maybe it's beautiful music I made for you to just cherish.
That's nice.
Yes, but I'm debated, disputed, hated, and viewed in America as a motherfucking drug addict like you didn't experiment. So again, he's saying, maybe I am just this evil, hateful person.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm making, music for your spirit. Or maybe I'm just making music because I want you to enjoy it. And
Very
then
true.
he says he's debated and disputed, which goes back to the previous bar, where saying some people say it's trash, some people say he's evil, blah blah blah. You know, and then he's saying he's being portrayed as a drug addict, like other people haven't done drugs.
They totally have.
Yeah, of course. And he says, nah, that's when you start,
No.
nah. That's when you start to stare at who's in the mirror and see yourself as a kid again, and you get embarrassed.
I don't get that. Like, what does he mean by that?
So the people that are saying all these things about him, that he's this evil person, he's just a drug addict, you know what I mean? So he's saying those adults, he's saying when they look in the mirror and they see themselves as a kid again, they get embarrassed of the way they're currently acting, the way they think back to when they were a kid and they're like, oh, I'll never
When they
be
were
that.
doing all this stuff too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then he continues to say, and I got nothing to do but make you look stupid as parents. You fucking do-gooders. Too bad you couldn't do good at marriage. So critiquing the parents that have problems with,
His music.
exactly. When he's like, worry about your own life and your own kids and your own fucking marriage. Stop being worried about what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, because you just don't have your kids listen to it then.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, they'll do what they want, but like, didn't we all do what we want?
Yeah, of course.
Like, if Eminem's music wasn't there, it would be someone else's music that's not geared towards kids. The kids would be listening to.
Yeah, of course. And then he says, and do you have any clue what I had to do to get here? I don't think you do. So stay tuned and keep your ears glued to the stereo. 'Cause here we go. He's Jigga, and I'm the sinister Mr. Kiss My Ass.
See,
Yeah, Mr.
that-
Kiss. Yeah, it's sick. His emphasis on his syllables throughout this whole song is really incredible.
it makes it sound like it rhymes even more.
Yeah. And then the chorus, Renegade, never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day, because I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to talk about anything, anything.
What is a renegade?
So somebody that like goes against the grain, like
Okay.
literally, yeah, he's breaking free from the pack. He's not following along with everybody else. He does his own thing, yeah. And then they repeat it. Eminem says it, and Jay-Z says it. They kind of little play
Yeah,
off each
it's
other.
cool.
Yeah, it
It
is sick.
sounds cool.
All
And
right.
I believe it goes in, doesn't like go in like one ear then the other ear. Am I making that
No,
up?
it might. We'll check
We'll
again
find
now.
out.
All right, let's see.
Anything. I had to hustle, my back to the wall, ashy knuckles, pockets filled with a lot of lint, not a cent, got a vent, lot of innocent lives lost on the project bench. What you hollering? Gotta pay rent, bring dollars in. By the bodega, iron under my coat, feeling braver. Do rag, rapping my waves up, pockets full of hope. Do not step in me, I'm awkward. I box lefty or often. My pops left me an orphan. My mama wasn't home. Could not stress to me, I wasn't grown. Especially on nights I brought something home to quiet the stomach rumblings. My demeanor, 30 years my senior. My childhood didn't mean much. Only raising green up. Raising my fingers to critics. Raising my head to the sky. Big, I did it multi before I died. No lie, just know I chose my own fate. I drove by the fork in the road and went straight.
Okay, so I actually,
Right into the fork.
so I forgot to ask, do you have an opinion on Jay-Z and Eminem, each of their first verse? Do you have an opinion on who you thought was better at that point?
Eminem.
Yeah, so I would agree too. So I will definitely say I fell into. So okay, so I to this day I think Eminem is better on this song,
Uh,
but I definitely like I mentioned that Nas line. I definitely believed that like oh Eminem just murdered Jay-Z, and I used to be like oh Jay-Z shit's trash in this. Definitely not. Jay-Z's shit is really fucking good.
Jay-Z's stuff is deeper
Yes,
and has more of a deeper
meaning.
and more of a deeper meaning that can translate a lot of Eminem's rap, and from what we just heard, if I am right, is more about like people still not really understanding what he's all about and not liking him and like not wanting their kids to listen to him. So it's more about like me, like as in Eminem, it's more about Eminem.
Yeah,
But Jay-Z's rap is more about like where he grew up and like the ghetto and like how they're like changing the neighborhood and how they don't want how they're it's just like a whole bunch. It's
yeah.
definitely a deeper meaning, but Eminem's raps overall and his one-liners were just better.
Yeah, no, I agree. Technically, Eminem murders Jay-Z on this song, skill wise. But like you're saying, the content that, that's up for debate, and that could be an opinion thing of what you like
It's
more.
yeah, like I don't.
Like if you grew up in the hood, you probably would connect way more to Jay-Z's lyrics. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
You know.
Because I mean, like I can connect to Eminem's verse here in a sense that like I was young and my mom 110% did not want me to listen to Eminem. Like whenever that music video came up on TV, she'd be like, turn it off.
All right. So now we're up to Jay-Z's second and final verse. So he starts off saying, I had to hustle, my back to the wall, ashy knuckles, pockets filled with a lot of lint, not a cent. Got a vent, a lot of innocent lives lost on
That's
that
a lot of
project.
int
This
rhymes.
is, yeah, this is sick. So
Lint, scent, vent, innocent.
he's painting an image of him selling drugs on the corner. So he's saying, I had to hustle back to the wall, literally, but also figuratively. So like, his back to the wall, he had no choice but to sell drugs.
Yeah,
But also, I at least picture him like physically standing on the corner with his back up against the wall.
yeah,
Also, you know what I mean? He said ashy knuckles. So knuckles were ashy. Pockets filled with a lot of lint, not a cent. So he had no money. And he says, got a vent. So he's got to get off his chest the things he's seen. A lot of innocent lives lost on that project bench. So young people, innocent, dying for no reason. He says, what you hollering? Gotta pay rent, bring dollars in him. Yeah. He says, by the bodega, iron under my coat, feeling braver. Do rag whapping, whapping.
rapping.
Do rags, do rag wrapping my waves up. Pockets full of hope. So I love this fucking line. So yeah, he's by the bodega, iron under my coat. So, gun to iron, but iron and coat, clothing, apparel. So I like the way he does that.
Yeah.
He says feeling braver. So he's brave because he's got a gun now. And he said, do-rag wrapping my waves up. Obviously wearing a do-rag, pockets full of hope.
Pockets full of hope. That means like the drugs that he was going to
Yep.
sell to make the
There's
money.
hope there. Yeah, that's good. There's hope.
Put hope in there.
Family Guy. Yeah. But yes, the potentiality of the money he's going to make from these drugs, it's awesome imagery.
Hmm.
He says, "Do not step to me. I'm awkward. I box lefty. An orphan. My pops left me. And orphan. My mama wasn't home."
That's so interesting because, like, technically, like, if his mom was still raising him, he's not an orphan. But if she
Yeah.
was never home, like, technically,
Yeah.
he's an orphan. And it's interesting how he says, I'm awkward, I box lefty.
Yeah.
I
It's
bat
interesting.
and golf lefty, but I'm a righty.
It's funny.
Brush my teeth with my left hand, too.
Yeah. So yeah, I love this part of this too. The way it sounds. I'm awkward. I box lefty and off, and my pops lefty and off. My mom wasn't home. It's sick.
Hmm.
And then he continues to say, "Could not stress to me I wasn't grown, especially on nights I brought something home to quiet the stomach rumblings." It's like, so you couldn't tell him that he wasn't a grown up when he
Hmm.
was
The
feeding the
one
family.
bringing home the
Yeah.
food. Yeah.
He says, my demeanor, 30 years my senior. My childhood didn't mean much, only raising green up.
When he says 30 years my senior, he's talking about his mom.
No. So his demeanor is that of somebody who's 30 years older than him. So
Okay.
he was a child. Let's just say he was 12 at the time. He was acting like a 42-year-old because he had to bring in
Do
money.
everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. My childhood didn't mean much, only raising green up. So again, he didn't have a childhood. He had to be concerned about
To
getting
hustle for his
money.
family.
Yeah, it's crazy. Then he says, raising my fingers to critics, raising my head to the sky. Big, I did it. Multi before I die.
Multi-platinum.
Yes. And
And
then,
Biggie.
yes. No lie. Just know I chose my own fate. I drove by the fork in the road and went straight.
So it's kind of a funny line to me because for some reason, like a child, whenever anyone says fork in the road, I imagine
Fork.
two lanes going in opposite directions and then a fork planted right in the middle of that. So in my head, Jay-Z is just going straight into that fork.
Yeah,
Like,
it's funny.
but yeah, I get what he means. It's
Yeah,
a
of
cool
course.
saying.
It is. It's sick. Yeah. Go here, Eminem.
a fork in the road and went straight.
See, I'm a poet to some, a regular modern day Shakespeare. Jesus Christ, the king of these latter-day saints here, to shatter the picture in which of that as they paint me as a monger of hate and Satan, a scatterbrained atheist. But that ain't the case. See, it's a matter of taste. We as the people decide if Shady's as bad as they say he is, or is he the latter, a gateway to escape, media scapegoat. They can be mad at today. See, it's as easy as cake, simple as whistling Dixie, while I'm waving the pistol at 60 Christians against me. Go to war with the Mormons, take a bath with the Catholics in holy water. No wonder they try to hold me under longer. I'm a motherfucking spiteful, delightful, eyeful, the new Ice Cube. Motherfuckers hate to like you. What did I do? I'm just a kid from the gutter making his butter off these bloodsuckers, cause I'm a motherfucking renegade. Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day, cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to talk about anything, anything. Renegade.
Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day, cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to holler about anything.
Renegade. Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day, cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to talk about anything. Renegade.
Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day, cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to holler about anything.
Okay. So let's go through Eminem's verse quickly.
Mm-hmm.
This is a long fucking video. Sorry, guys. It's a very serious song to break down. So Eminem starts off his second verse. See, I'm a poet to some, a regular modern day Shakespeare. Jesus Christ, the king of these latter-day saints here.
That's so funny because like he's saying Jesus Christ is in like Jesus Christ, but then also like Jesus Christ like as in the exclamation.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
It's so sick.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the Latter-day Saints is that more? I believe it's Mormon. I don't remember.
I don't know.
I think it's Mormon.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, neither. So he's saying, he's a poet to some, like a modern day Shakespeare, and then Jesus Christ, like you said, the king of these Latter-day Saints here. He says to shatter the picture in which of that as they paint me, a monger of hate, Satanist, scatterbrained atheist. So as the Jesus Christ and the king of these Latter-day Saints,
Yeah.
he's here to destroy the image of him being a Satanist, an atheist, and a monger of hate, which is so fucking sick how he puts those two. Because yeah, like the Latter-day Saints, it's a proper noun, as you see. Like I said, I think I believe it's Mormon. I forget.
It's
It
like
could
the
be
Church of the Latter-day Saints.
yes, but
I
you
don't
could
know what that
also
is, though.
you could look at it
Sorry.
as Latter-day Saints as a non-proper noun. Do you know what I mean? Just
Oh, like as a double entendre in
yes, the
itself.
king of these Latter-day, these current saints, and he's the king of the saints. It's sick.
Which would essentially be Jesus, right?
Yes, that's why that double with the fucking Jesus Christ is crazy. Yeah. He says, but that ain't the case. See, it's a matter of taste. We as a people decide if Shady's as bad as they say he is. Or is he the latter, a gateway to escape, media scapegoat who they could be mad at today? Yes. I think I'm picking up what you're picking up.
Three, though, because then he could say, or is he the latter, which brings it back to being like the Latter-day Saint king, but also like the latter is in the last thing that was said, or is in the latter is in like a climb.
Yeah.
So there's like three.
Yeah. So he's saying that ain't the case. It's a matter of taste. We as a people decide if Shady is as bad as they say he is. So, it's a matter of taste, whether you like his music, you know what I mean? And then, like you were just pointing out,
So it's a triple entendre.
or is he the latter, a gateway to escape? So, yes, like a literal ladder, which is spelled differently. But again, these are lyrics written down. So, a ladder, or like you
Climbing
said,
ladder, or is in like the former or the latter?
former.
And then like the Latter-day Saints that he had mentioned prior.
Yeah. I think that is a triple.
It's a triple.
Crazy. And then the gateway to escape, media scapegoat, who they could be mad at today. So again, just the one the media is blaming everything on, and they could just be mad at him, even though they maybe shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And then he says, see, it's as easy as cake, simple as whistling Dixie, while I'm waving the pistol at 60 Christians against me. So whistling Dixie was a saying.
It's like a saying in the South, I believe.
It is, but why did I think it was just saying like something akin to like
Simple as
whistling past the graveyard, like that
I thought
saying?
whistling Dixie was just like shooting the breeze or like just like, just
It's something.
nonchalant, like
Yes, to engage in idle conversational fantasies.
yeah, like shooting the breeze.
Yes. So yeah, it's easy as cake, simple as whistling Dixie. So it's easy to just, talk this bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just blindly do that. While I'm waving the pistol at 60 Christians against me.
Why 60?
Guess that's the
What does
number.
that
That's
mean?
just the number of Christians that are after him, I guess.
It's a lot. It's not that. I mean, you
If
know
they're
what I mean.
physically there.
Yeah,
And
it's a
then,
lot to be face to face with, but like not a lot when you think of how many Christians are in the country.
yeah. And then he says, "Go to war with the Mormons, take a bath with the Catholics in holy water. No wonder they tried to hold me under longer."
Like
So
for his baptism,
baptism,
right?
yeah, they're trying to
Yeah.
drown him.
Hmm.
Yeah, no wonder they try to hold me under longer. They wanted to drown him because he's so fucking evil. He says, "I'm a motherfucking spiteful,
Wait,
delightful, eyeful, the new Ice
nice.
Cube. Motherfuckers hate to like you."
Why the new Ice Cube?
So that's how Ice Cube, he was in NWA. So, he was
Okay, so new.
pleased. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah,
motherfucking
political
spiteful.
form.
Yeah, spiteful, delightful, eyeful. So it's wild, crazy, but people like observing and listening. And so similarly, he's the new Ice Cube. Motherfuckers hate to like you. What did I do? I'm just a kid from the gutter making his butter off these bloodsuckers because I'm a motherfucking. And then it goes into Renegade.
Renegade.
So yeah, he's just a kid from the gutter, obviously very poor, getting his money off these leeches, in the industry because he's a renegade. And that is it.
Yes.
So, Jesus, we're already at 30 minutes. Sorry again.
Where are you seeing that?
Right there.
Oh,
Record time.
I've never noticed that before.
So,
Oh, 31:40.
what are your thoughts,
So
Renegade?
I have a greater appreciation for Jay-Z's raps in this song because I will be honest, I always thought Eminem's was far greater, and I didn't really see anything special about Jay-Z's, but I will say that it's the way that Eminem raps and those like awesome like where the three words in a row that rhyme
Yeah.
and then like the double triple entendre that just like are just like how can that not be better? But like I see the depth in Jay-Z's verses
Yeah.
where like you can't say they're not good.
Yeah.
Like just like the shock of Eminem's versus and all of the rhyme schemes and just everything that he does and the triple entendre, like it's just he won, but like not by that much.
Yeah.
I guess. I used to think it was like by a landslide,
Yeah.
but like yeah, I can respect both, but I'm still one.
I
What about you?
No, I agree 100%. Like I said, when I was younger, I don't know if I didn't hear it. Maybe I needed to grow up or bought into the propaganda
You
that it was
right,
terrible.
because it's all in the same pace. Like Jay-Z's just rapping, and it's like he's not like changing his octaves. He's just like
Yeah.
just rapping like normal.
But very good. He's incredible. It's very good, but I do agree.
Which goes back to his point in the first verse saying that people just skim over his
Do you
lyrics.
listen to music or do you just skim through it?
Did.
Yeah, we were younger,
Yeah.
So yes, my opinion, Eminem beats Jay-Z just based off the technicality, the way he's rhyming, the way it sounds. But
But if we were just going based off of content, like just
I would give that
meaning,
to
then
Jay-Z
Jay-Z
too.
wins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. All right, so we finally did this one.
Yes, finally.
One day I will have to show you the original Renegade. It's the same Eminem verses, but Royce the 5'9's on it.
Yeah.
So we'll
And then
listen
we
to that
can
at
see
some
which
point.
one's better.
Yes.
And also, we'll be doing that next album soon, right?
Encore.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna do a couple more non-album tracks before.
Yeah, so be sure to get your votes in. We'll
Yes.
try to accommodate as many as we can, and especially the most popular ones. Like this was actually a really popular one that's been like
Yeah.
requested multiple times.
Yes.
But okay, see you guys
See you
tomorrow.
guys. Bye.